So, I wanted to touch on some comprehension because comprehension is going to be super important. When you get up into the upper grades, 4th, 5th, 6th, especially middle school and high school are pretty much all comprehension. You're going to be asked to comprehend stories. So, I wanted to work on some comprehension of this story, and we were talking about the president, the con man. I know it's been a little while. It's been about 2 weeks since we've last been together in class, but I wanted to continue with this story. So we were talking about the president and the con man. And if you remember, the president and the con man were going where? They were going on a ship to Japan. And, they were conning people. The president conned a woman out of some money, so that's how they paid for the ticket to get on the ship to go to Japan. But we're going to continue on with that story because we're almost finished with it, so we can introduce some new characters. But I wanted to kind of do this for a second. So I know that you don't have your books with you. I'm here in my classroom with my book, with one of your books, and we're going to use this pencil as a highlighter. Now, I don't condone writing in books, but unfortunately, I don't have a printout where I can highlight in it, so that's why I'm using a pencil so I can erase it. So let's start by reading, and this is a little tip to help you with comprehending. We're going to read our questions first. So the first part, the questions are, what kinds of things was the con man saying to the tall man? Who did the president have with him? What did the tall man say his name was? So, just to think back, to put it in a little context, if you remember, the president, to get on the ship, said his name was what? Sir Robert Frederick. And when he looked at the list, he didn't see the name Sir Robert Frederick on the list. He saw the name Robert Frederick. So he told the lady at the counter, my name's right here, but it's Sir Robert Frederick. And she said, well, I don't see a sir. And he said, well, that's okay. All you have to do is write sir, and it'll be fine. So, needless to say, they got on the ship, or they were getting on the ship. But here we've got a problem. Sir Robert Frederick is stopped by the real Robert Frederick, and there's a confrontation. So we're going to continue reading, and we're going to see what happens in that confrontation. A tall man had found out that the con man was trying to steal his bags. The con man was trying to think of something to say, but the words were not flowing from his mouth. He was stammering and stuttering and saying, you see, the tall man was getting very mad. Then suddenly the president came back. He had a cop with him. He said, there he is, officer. That tall man is the imposter. Go ask him his name and you'll see. The cop went up to the tall man. All right, buddy, he said, what's your name? Frederick. Robert Frederick, the tall man said. And this man's trying to steal my bags. So, what kinds of things was the con man saying to the tall man? If you remember, in the first part of the story, it says right here, the con man was trying to think of something to say, but the words were not flowing from his mouth. He was stammering and stuttering and saying, you see, so he didn't know what to say. He was just stuttering. Who did the president have with him? So that I actually remembered and saw in the story. Then suddenly the president came back. He had a cop with him. He said, there he is, officer. So the president had a police officer with him. What did the tall man say his name was? So if you remember the context that I put it in at the beginning, what happened? Right. Sir Robert Frederick was pretending to be Robert Frederick. The cop went up to the tall man. "All right, buddy," he said. "What's your name?" "Robert Frederick," the tall man said. So the tall man said his name was Robert Frederick. The cop asked, "Do you have identification to show who you are?" "Yes," the tall man said. He reached in his pocket and grabbed his wallet. As he opened it, the president said, "Just as I told you, officer, that man stole my wallet, and now he's trying to steal our bags." The cop turned to the tall man. "All right, buddy," he said, "hand over the wallet." "I will not," the man shouted. "That is my wallet. Do you hear me? My wallet. I don't know what's going on here, but I demand—" "All right, buddy," the cop said. "Come along and pipe down, or I'll have to call a bus that takes you to the rest home." What had the president told the cop? So, if you remember, the cop asked, "Do you have identification to show who you are?" He asked the tall man. And what did the tall man say? What did the tall man do? The tall man grabbed his wallet. He reached into his back pocket and grabbed his wallet, just like this. And Robert Frederick said what? Robert Frederick said, "Wait, that's my wallet." So he said that the tall man had stolen his wallet, and now he was trying to steal his bags. Where did the cop say he would send Mr. Frederick if he kept yelling? So at the end of the passage, "All right, buddy," the cop said, "come along and pipe down, or I'll have to call the bus that takes you to" what? "The rest home." So he said he would send Mr. Frederick to the rest home. So now let's read the questions first. I forgot to do that in the last section. I'm sorry. So, how did the cop call a bus? So he said he was going to call a bus. So how did he call the bus? Where did that bus take Mr. Frederick? So let's find out. "But I haven't done anything," the tall man said. "These men are the crooks." The cop grabbed the wallet. Then he said, "One more peep out of you, buddy, and I'm calling the bus for the rest home." "All right," the man said. "I can see that you are part of the plot. You work together to con rich men at the docks." "That did it," the cop said. He took a whistle from his pocket and gave a loud blast. Soon a bus came up the ramp and parked at the dock. So, how did the cop call a bus? What do police officers have? That they blow? Right. He called the bus with a whistle. Very good. And where was the bus going? Well, it said in the last section. Didn't really say exactly in this section. But we know that the bus is going to the rest home. Which I'm assuming the rest home is where they put crazy people. Which isn't a nice thing to say, but that's the context of the story. How did the president flatter the cops? So obviously the president said something to make the cops not send him to the rest home. So let's find out what he said. 3 big cops came out and ran to the president and the other men. The tall man said, "Please hear what I have to say. I'm a victim of a plot to con me. These men have taken my bags and my wallet. Now they are trying to lock me up in a rest home. How can they get away with such a crime? Can't you stop them? Please stop them, please." He is a good actor, the president said. If the cops in our wonderful town were not so smart, he would fool them. We are very lucky to have cops who are not fooled by such clever crooks as this tall man. So what did the president say to the cops? Oh, you're smart. You're not going to be fooled by this guy. So that's how the president flattered the cops. Where did one cop say that he was taking Mr. Frederick? What did the president suddenly tell the cop? Alright, so let's find out where they took him. That's right, the first cop said. This guy can't fool us. Two cops grabbed the tall man. They started to lead him to the bus. The man began to yell, "Where are you taking me? What are you going to do with me?" One cop said, "We're taking you to the Happy Hollow Rest Home." The president said, "One moment, officer. Where did you say you were going?" "Happy Hollow," the cop said. The president said, "In that case, I have something to tell you. This man is the real Robert Frederick. These are his bags, and that wallet is his wallet." So, where did one cop say that he was taking Mr. Frederick? Well, if you see right here in the story, one cop said, we're taking you to the Happy Hollow Rest Home. What did the president suddenly tell the cop? So after they said that they were taking Robert Frederick to Happy Hollow, the president said, "Well, that's the real Robert Frederick. This is all a mistake. Those are his bags." So why do you think the president said that? I don't know. I think maybe, the president worked at Happy Hollow. Let's keep reading and find out. The con man said, "What are you saying?" The president hollered, "Hush up, Private. Can't you see that I'm talking with this officer?" Then the president went on, "This tall man is the victim of a plot. My partner is really a crook. He is a con man, not a very good one." The cop said, "Do you mean that you guys are the crooks and this tall man's telling the truth?" "I wouldn't say that we are crooks. My partner's a crook, but I am a president. And who would ever think that a president could be a crook?" So, who did the president say was the crook? So, the president basically threw the con man under the bus. He said, the president hollered, "Hush up, Private. Can't you see that I'm talking with this officer?" Oh, we're in the wrong part. I'm sorry. I didn't turn the page. I was reading in my book. "This tall man is the victim of a plot. My partner is really a crook. He is a con man, and not a very good one." So the president said, "Oh, wait. No, we're not both crooks. I'm a president. This guy's a crook. His own partner." So he threw him under the bus. What did the president say he was? The president said, "This guy's a crook. I'm the president." So after all that they had been through, he's going to say, "Oh, it's not me that's the problem. I didn't do anything. You're looking for this guy. Not a very good friend." And that's the end of the story. And I would say do your workbook, but I doubt that you have your workbook with you. So we read through the story, we talked about it, and when I see you again, we will start a new story. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you next time.